Hello all and welcome back. This is Crooked Leg here in the Kansas City War Room. We are looking at July of 1937 Operation Overlord. This is the Japanese turn, so let's go ahead and get into it then, shall we? So we've got $18 that we're spending this turn. We're going to save $1 going into the next turn. So we're spending 2 to upgrade a militia, and we're spending 16 for 4 artillery. So that will be our purchase. Let's do our tech roll real quick. We'll do long-range aircraft, and we got a 2, so look at that. We're 3-0, so fantastic. Okay, as you all know, we are positioning to go into China, and of course this round we went ahead and announced our formal declaration of war against the Chinese provinces. So all the warlords will begin aligning. We are playing with the optional rule where you have to roll for influence on any of the warlords that are adjacent to CCP controlled territories. So that means that we will do an influence roll for Qinghai, Tibet, and Kwangtung. So let's go ahead and get into it. So if it's a 7 or higher, it will align to the CCP. If it's a 6 or lower, it will remain in KMT control, or will align to KMT. So we'll start with Qinghai. We need 6 or lower, hopefully. And we got a 7. Okay, so that one will be controlled by the CCP. So let's put a rondel over there. And then we need to do Tibet. So use a different dice. And it's a 10. Awesome. So Tibet is also CCP controlled. And then, last but not least, we have Kwangtung. So this one will be the biggest target that they probably would hope to get. So, and there's a 2, so it will be KMT controlled. So, both of those are KMT, and then of course we'll put a KMT rondel in Xinjiang as well. So there you have it. At the end of this turn, we'll go through and we'll swap out units for their faction. So the warlords that are KMT will go KMT, and then same with CCP. So that is it there. We have let me think here for just a second. All right, and we're going to proceed with our naval invasion, and we've codenamed it Operation Bamboo. So we'll go ahead and get things prepped here. We've laid out what the assaults are going to look like and what forces will be involved where. We're going to get started with a few quick ones. So the first one that we're going to go ahead and do is we are going to take one of the destroyers here in C-Zone 54 and move it to Kyushu and pick up an infantry and then move. So it's moved 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a major port in Rihi. So we'll take over Hainan Island. So that's 1. And then we get to chip out these destroyers. Got 2 of the destroyers. Okay. There's the other 2 destroyers. The next one that we're going to do, we are going to attack Suyon. It has 2 militia, and it is a mountain territory. So we'll put those 2 militia on the chart here. And then we're going to bring 2 tactical bombers And then we are going to bring 7 infantry. The infantry will attack with 1s because of the mountain. Okay, and then go ahead and lay out the others real quick so that way there's no contention of what may have been going where. Over here to grab some of these that I'd laid out. All right, so there's that. And then we're going to bring 4 infantry and 2 marines along with 2 fighters into I believe it's Hope. Yeah. So Hope, we'll take 2 fighters in there. Okay, so 2 fighters, and then 4 infantry and 2 marines, I believe is what we're going to do. Yeah, 4 infantry, 2 marines. Okay, so we'll use, let's see here, let's take, there's 3, 4, 6, so we'll bring 3 transports that are right here in the C zone. They'll just move up, pick them up, and then move them over. So we'll take 2 marines into there, along with 4 infantry, so I gotta chip that out. Okay. So we'll have 1 marine left there. We took 5, we had 6 there. Or we took 4. Yeah, so there's 2 infantry left there in Rehe. Marine ship. Sorry for the delay on this. There's lots of moving pieces to this one, so we're gonna be here for a hot minute, so bear with me. Okay, so we have that. We're gonna take the cavalry, the motorized, and another motorized, and they're gonna move into Peking along with this tactical bomber. And then last but not least, we have Shantan. So we're gonna attack into Shantan, and we are going to bring 1 of these destroyers over to 56 and then back. So move 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick up the infantry in Tokyo, drop him in Shantan. We'll take, let's see, we'll take 1 transport that's in here because we've got 5. We've used 3, so we have 2 left. We'll take 1 out. It's going to come over here and pick up these 2 marines in Kyushu, drop them there in Shantan. We'll take the last remaining destroyer that hasn't moved, and we'll pick up the guy in Rehe and move that marine down to Shantung. And then the last transport will move these 2 infantry into Shantung. So, and then the 2 fighters in Korea will go 1, 2, and land in, or not land, but attack into Shantung. So, that's it for the alignment of how we're attacking here. We are going to do some bombardments. We are going to have the 2 battleships bombard into Hope, and then we'll have the battle cruiser and the 3 heavy cruisers along with the 2 light cruisers bombard into actually scratch that. We're going to do 3 heavy cruisers bombarding into Hope, or not Hope, Let me start over because I'm probably confusing you. So 2 battleships will bombard into Hope, 3 heavy cruisers will bombard into Peking, and then the 2 light cruisers and the battle cruiser will bombard into Shantan. So clear as mud. All right. So let's go ahead and get on to our rolls here. We're taking up enough time here. So as you can see, there's the 2 militia. This is for Suyan. And there's our units. So the 2 tactical bombers and 7 infantry. Okay. No surprise attacks, no first strikes. Just simple rolling. All right. So we've got 7 infantry at 1. So there's 7. So 7 at 1. We got 2 hits right there. It was a really good roll right there to start. So we'll take it. All right. So that's it for our attacking on that. So now let's do our defending CCP. So 2 militia at 2s. There's an 11 and a 5. So they both miss. So no casualties moving into Suyan. So we'll take control of that. No problems. We'll move the aircraft non-combat movement here shortly. All right. Get a rondel. Okay. So here's the units. We put them back there, so that's under our control. I'm going to put a rondel down here on Hainan Island as well. And then next, we'll do Hope. So Hope has 1 militia defending at a 2, and then there are 2 Marines, excuse me, and there are 4 infantry, and then we have 2 fighters. All right. Okay, so our bombardment, we have 3 heavy cruisers, and I believe heavy cruisers bombard at a 2. So there's our units lined up, ready to go. Okay, so 3 bombardments, 2 or lower. They missed, which was to be expected. Okay, and then infantry, we've got 4, 5, 6 at 2s. Those are all misses. And then 2 fighters at 6s. There's the 1. So we got our hit. So militia dies. So now the counter strike with the militia at a 2. Got an 11. So it missed. So no casualties on our end for Hope. So we'll take control of that and get a rondel placed in there. Guys over here. Okay. So Hope is ours for the taking. And then next we will do, we'll go ahead and do Peking. So the city is technically surrounded at this point, but I don't technically have any ships that are blockading the port, so I don't think that it actually is fully blockaded. So we won't assign the penalty to the defending militia. The militia will defend it a 3 because of the city bonus. And here we go. So we have 2 motorized, a cavalry, and then we have a tactical bomber going in. We do also have our 2 battleships that are going to bombard at, let's see. Yeah, they bombarded 4s. So 2 at 4s. And we missed, unfortunately. Okay. Now for the regular attack. So we have 2 at 2s. They missed. We have 1 at 3. There's a hit. So roll now for the militia at 3 or higher. Got a 7, so that's a miss. So, I believe that's it here. So we'll move those guys back. So no casualties on our end. 2 motorized and a cavalry, along with a tactical bomber and Peking. And then last but not least, we have our invasion of Shantan. So we have our 2 fighters at 6s. Then we have 3 marines at 2s. And 3 infantry at 2s. And then we have a few bombardments. But again, not expecting much, if any, luck when it comes to the bombardments, but one can hope. All right. Okay. So we're still subject to double casualties, but we've got the Marines, so we should be fine. So there's the units, there's the fighters. Let's go ahead and roll here. Okay. First off, we have our bombardments. We have 2 light cruisers at 1s. So that one missed, and that one missed. Expected. And then the battle cruiser at 3. He missed also. So then we have 6 at 2s, 3 marines and 3 infantry. All misses. And then we have 2 fighters at 6s, and those are also misses. So this may be our first casualty for the game. So the militia at a 2, it's a 5. Okay. So we'll re-roll yet again all of our 2s. There's 6 2s, and there's a hit. So we'll roll and see if the militia will get a hit. And it also got a 2. So we'll take an infantry. Alright. So we'll have 2 infantry and 3 militia. 2 infantry and 3 marines in Shantan. So, and 2 fighters. Okay. So there's how it looks now. Take all these tokens off so they're out of the way. Avoid any confusion of what they are. Just for me to remember where I'm attacking them with what. So, okay. Excuse me. So, we took Suyon, Peking, Hope, Shantung, and Hainan. So we took $2, $4, $5, $6, $7. $7. So the Japanese go from 16 up to 23. So we're on par with our German comrades at the moment, I believe. We actually may not be. We may not be quite. I may have their income wrong. Anyways, so there is that. Our bonus will be decreased by $1 because of our aggressive action, so we'll only collect $2 in bonus this game. Non-combat movements for this game. Oh, I completely forgot. I've got to kill this torpedo boat destroyer that's here in Sea Zone 54. So let me do that real quick. It's okay, we've got units that did not attack, but this needs to be done nevertheless. So we'll have our torpedo boat destroyer, a coastal sub, and then we'll have 3 submarines. So okay. So usually this battle would have taken place before as a screening force, but I failed to do so. So there's our setup. So again, we have a torpedo boat destroyer, coastal sub, and 3 regular submarines against a torpedo boat destroyer. So let's do the first strike with the coastal sub at 2. He missed. 3 submarines at 3s. They missed. And then now regular combat, torpedo boat destroyer at 2. I got a 1. Okay, so that's a hit. So now the torpedo boat destroyer for the I did not show the dice rolls for that. I am very sorry. So let me re-roll it, or let me re-roll for the torpedo boat destroyer so you can see for the Japanese. If we miss, it's no big deal. Okay, it's a miss. So now the torpedo boat destroyer for the Chinese, he also missed. So we'll repeat the last set of rolls. So first strike at a 2, missed. 3 subs at 3s. They also missed. And then our torpedo boat destroyer at 2, he missed. Their torpedo boat destroyer at 2, they missed. Okay, and we repeat it again. That's a miss for the coastal sub. There, first strike with the sub. So that torpedo boat is dead. So, okay, easy enough. So we'll move back. Our 3 submarines will be back in that sea zone, along with the coastal sub and the torpedo boat destroyer. So that is done and out of the way. And then I believe the only thing left we have to do is we're going to do non-combat movement for our aircraft, because they'll have to land in friendly territory. So everything took off from Korea. So to start with, the 2 fighters that are in Shantan would have 2 movement left. And we will move them. We'll move the aircraft carrier and the light carrier down to sea zone 89. So these 2 fighters will go 1, 2, and actually no, they'll go 1, 2, and they'll land in Korea. The 2 fighters that are in Hopei have 2 movement left. Or no, I'm sorry, everything has 3 movement left. Or at least they do, because there's a airfield. So they would have went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So actually, since we have 3 movement remaining for these fighters, the 2 that are in Shantan are going to move 1, 2, 3 and land in Formosa. And then these 2 fighters will land in Korea. I guess I didn't need to change that. All right, and then we've used, for these 2 tactical bombers, we went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they'll land on the aircraft carriers. And then this one would have went 1, 2, 3, 4. So we'll land him on the aircraft carrier. So that's done there. Need to put the rondo out on Shantan to show that that's ours. And Peking. Okay. All right. And I believe that that is it for our non-combat movements as the Japanese. So let's go ahead and place our units that we've purchased. So again, we bought 4 artillery and a militia upgrade. We will upgrade the infantry in Okinawa to a regular infantry. And then we'll place 3 artillery in Kyushu and 1 artillery in Rihi. Okay. And that is it for non-combat, or not non-combat, that's it for placing units. We have $23 that we're collecting, plus the $2 in bonuses, so we're going to have $25. And then we had $1 we didn't spend at the beginning of this turn, so we'll have $26 in total to spend going into January of 1938. So that is it for the Japanese. I have been requested that we go through and do a unit count. That way that our Soviet counterpart doesn't have too many issues when he goes to reset his board for his holiday gathering this weekend. So let's get into it here. We've got 7 infantry that are here in Suyeon. We have 1 artillery in Rihi. We have 2 motorized and a cavalry in Peking. We have 4 infantry and 2 marines in Hopei. We have 2 infantry and 3 marines in Shantan. We have 1 infantry in Hainan Island. We've got 2 fighters in Korea, 1 infantry in Okinawa, 3 artillery in Kyushu, nothing else on the mainland. And then naval units, we've got 5 transports, 2 battleships, 3 heavy cruisers, 1 battle cruiser, and 2 light cruisers, in addition to 2 destroyers, 1 torpedo boat destroyer, coastal sub, and 3 regular submarines. All of those are in Sea Zone 54. And then Sea Zone 89, we have 3 tactical bombers, a light carrier, and a fleet carrier. And then Sea Zone 88 has 1 destroyer. And I forgot to mention before, but Formosa has 2 fighters. So otherwise, that's it for the Japanese. Except for their militia, but we still have all the militia that are over on the starting islands, and then there's still the militia there at Karelia Island, and then the 2 militia that are up here at the border. So we still have the 1 here at northern Manchuria and the other 1 at eastern Manchuria. So, but that is it for the Japanese. So we apologize for the length of the video. It was probably a longer one, but it was one of those that had to be done. So we had to get in there and start putting some pressure on the CCP and prevent any concern of whether or not they would evolve. So we had intense negotiations with the Chinese and the Soviets that were acting as proxies on behalf of the CCP, but negotiations fell apart early yesterday morning. They fell apart, and so actions were taken and decisions made. So anyways, thank you all for tuning in. This is the end of the Japanese turn for Operation Overlord. Tune in next time for the next video. We'll probably have some interesting moves going forward. Additionally, one would also note that you guys should definitely check out all the other videos that are out there for everybody else. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll catch you next time. This is Crooked Leg signing out.